Safeguarding is measures used to protect the health, well-being and human rights of individuals, which allow people, children, young people and adults to live free from abuse, harm and neglect. Everyone needs to be aware that safeguarding incidents can occur in situations both inside and outside of the home. All concerns, regardless of when or where they have occurred, should be reported. Safeguarding issues can include abuse, a form of maltreatment, generally physically, sexually or mentally injuring a person. Neglect, the persistent failure to meet someone's basic physical and or psychological needs, likely to result in serious impairment of their health and development. Needs such as not providing adequate food, clothing and shelter. Mental health. Mental health problems can in some cases be an indicator that someone has suffered or is at risk of suffering abuse, neglect or exploitation. Cybercrime. Cybercrime is crime committed using computers and or the internet. Bullying. Bullying is most likely to include, but may not be limited to, physical abuse such as hitting, kicking, biting or otherwise causing physical harm. Sexual violence and sexual harassment. Sexual violence and harassment can occur online and offline, both physical and verbal, and are never acceptable. Sexual violence can include rape and assault. Sexual harassment is the unwanted conduct of a sexual nature that can occur online and offline. Radicalization and extremism. Radicalization refers to the process by which a person comes to support terrorism and extremist ideologies associated with terrorist groups. Extremism is the vocal or active opposition to our fundamental values, including democracy, the rule of law, individual liberty, and the mutual respect and tolerance of different faiths and beliefs. To help with this, JTL uses the PREVENT strategy to keep their learners safe. Domestic abuse includes any incident or a pattern of incidents of controlling, coercive or threatening behaviour, violence or abuse between who are or have been an intimate partner or family member regardless of gender or sexuality. The abuse can be psychological, physical, sexual, financial and emotional. Discriminatory abuse. This includes racism, sexism, ageism, homophobia or any other form of hate incident or crime, including forms of harassment, bullying, slurs, isolation, neglect, denial of access to services or similar treatment. Learners can be rest assured that JTL staff and training officers are trained in the 5 R's principles. These are: recognise the signs of abuse, respond and react accordingly, record the facts of the disclosure, report the disclosure as soon as possible within 24 hours, refer all relevant concerns to the external agencies as appropriate. Staff are required to report if abuse or harm is suspected, if abuse or harm is witnessed, when an allegation of abuse or harm is made, when a learner discloses abuse or harm, where there have been any other concerns for the learner's well-being. JTL is committed to the safeguarding of all and believes it is always unacceptable for anyone to experience abuse or discrimination of any kind. It takes all reasonable steps to protect all from harm and accepts its responsibility for the well-being and safety of its stakeholders, including children and adults at risk. All learners, including those who are defined as young people, children, vulnerable learners or adults at risk, have the right to protection, to be listened to, and to have their opinions heard. JTL is committed to ensuring all learners on its scheme have the best opportunity to train and work in an informed and appropriate environment. JTL will support learners at all times and ensure they are signposted to the most appropriate organisation for guidance, information and counselling services. The learner will be treated with dignity throughout this entire process. JTL also employed a PREVENT strategy to help learners who may be at risk of radicalisation and extremism. JTL has a PREVENT action plan that is reviewed regularly. All staff and learners are provided with information and training on PREVENT and British values. That includes information on who to talk to if they are concerned that someone may be vulnerable to being radicalised. JTL is vigilant to the concerns about the presence of radicalisation and or extremism and is committed to addressing such issues appropriately in partnership with communities and other organisations and the Department of Education regional PREVENT coordinators. JTL will ensure that the rights of learners are respected regardless of age, sex, sexual orientation, disability, race including colour, nationality and ethnic origin, religions or beliefs, gender reassignment, pregnancy and maternity status, marital or civil partnership status.